You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I am Amaya Norman. Texas counties are getting ready to make a major change to vehicles registration in 2025. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting has more information on the new rules.
Thank you, Amaya. Texas drivers should expect to see some changes when they try to get a new registration sticker next year. The Vehicle Safety Inspection Program by the Texas DPS will remove inspections for non-commercial vehicles. Instead of an inspection, Texas drivers will have to pay $7.50 as an inspection replacement fee. New vehicles will have to pay a fee of $16.75 to cover 2 years. Commercial vehicles like buses, trucks, vans, and cars used for commerce or trade will still require a yearly inspection. However, they will not have to pay the fees associated with the inspection replacement program.
We started doing the inspection fee program, and then now I guess they're doing it away. We're one of the last states that still require inspection, so it's only a matter of time until they took it away.
Texas is one of just 15 states that still has vehicle safety inspection laws. However, it's far more common for states to have emissions inspections. And there are a few counties here in Texas that will still require an emissions test despite no longer needing a standard safety inspection. Counties containing large cities like Harris County, Travis County, Dallas County, and much more are vehicle emission hotspots. The inspections are intended to limit metropolitan pollution in major Texas cities. Bexar County will be added to the list in 2026. These new rules take effect on January 1st, so anyone needing a new registration sticker before then will have to get a standard safety inspection. Amaya, back to you.
Thank you, Trenton. As Veterans Day is approaching on Monday, all non-emergency city Victoria office will be closed on November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. The Victoria Public Library will also be closed. However, the landfill and compost site will remain open, and garbage and curbside recycling, yard waste, and tree limbs collecting will continue as scheduled. Riverside Golf Course will be open as well. There's a growing cat problem in Cuero, especially in places like West Courthouse Street, City Park, and around Walmart. Cuero officials say 4 traps have been set up, but the issue is getting worse with residents and even people from up to 40 miles away feeding the cats. Some homes even have up to 10 food bowls out. There is a city ordinance against feeding animals on public properties or anywhere you don't own. Officers give 2 warnings before issuing citations. With just 2 staff members, Cuero's Animals Care Service is working hard to trap the cats and is considering a spade-neuter release program. Now this brings us to our viewer poll for today. How should Cuero is either increased? Well, where increased enforcement is 12%. Implement a trap, neuter, and release program, which is up to 81%. Expand animal care service encouraging, which is up to 4%, and encouraging residents to avoid feeding stray cats, and that is up to 3%. You can go here and vote to ourcrossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. Now it is time to talk weather on this Saturday night. Let's check in with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining to see what your week will look like. Trey.
Yes, on the outside it feels very nice today with a little bit lower humidity in the air. 61 degrees currently in Victoria. Winds from the north near 10 miles per hour. So the feel like temperature is the same as the air temperature, 90% humidity because it's early in the evening. But the humidity is rather low overall. We're still watching Rafael in the Gulf of Mexico beginning to weaken even more so. Not expected to make landfall anywhere in the Gulf coastal states. We'll keep watching this, of course, and see if there's any rain chances trying to come our way. We'll take a look at that possibility later on in the full forecast. Back to you, Amaya.
Thank you, Trey. U.S. Customs and Border Protection is warning of a phone scam that is targeting residents nationwide. On Friday, the CBP said they are receiving numerous calls from people concerning about unknown calls from scammers posing as U.S. Border Patrol agents and U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers. Phone victims report that scammers are asking them to confirm certain details because the CBP has intercepted a shipment of drugs with the target name and address. If the target refuses to comply, the scammer threatens them that the police will arrive. The CBP will not ask for money over the phone. The victims of a murder-suicide in Duluth, Minnesota have been identified. Police said 47-year-old Anthony Nephew killed his two sons, his current and former wife, before taking his own life Thursday. The victim were 47-year-old Aaron Amberson, 15-year-old Jacob Nephew, 45-year-old Catherine Nephew, and 7-year-old Oliver Nephew. The Duluth community has been mourning the loss, leaving candles, photos, and toys at the crime scene.
Today's run was really difficult because, you feel the loss of a close person that almost feels like family.
A memorial run was also held to honor Aaron Amberson, a member of the Moms Run This Town group. Firefighters are battling a brush fire that continues to spread through Berks County, Pennsylvania. Windy and dry conditions are making it difficult for firefighters to battle the fire that started around 11:30 p.m. on Never Sink Mountain in the city of Reading. Smoke could be seen and smelled for miles as a ring of fire outlined the edges of the mountain. Residents who live nearby were evacuated to a local elementary school. Officials have not yet revealed the cause of the fire or how much it's been contained. No injuries have been reported so far. A countywide burn ban is currently in effect as crews continue to battle the fire. People across the country received racist text messages in the days after the election. Students in Montgomery County, Maryland were among the recipients of the hateful rhetoric. Let's take a look at what health experts had to do with the parents can do with to help their children.
That sound ringing the alarm for Montgomery County parents after the school district reported some students have received these racist text messages telling them they will be taken to a plantation to pick cotton.
I'll definitely check with him and find out.
The school district sent this letter home to parents saying some students received text messages containing racist threats. These texts have been sent to people across the country in the days after the election, and the FBI is now investigating.
Trying to teach them about history and where we were as Afro-Americans, where we've come from and where we are today, and then to actually have this enveloped right in front of them. They don't know how to process that.
I personally have a cousin that received one of those text messages, and it was like, what is this? What's going on? Is this real?
Even mental health professionals like Philip Reynolds have not been able to escape this, and he worries how children will cope.
School going in and of itself is hard enough. So having these things be posted, and even for the families, right, sending their kids to school, that walk to school or via bus with this, it can absolutely create an increase in anxiety and depression for kids.
The school district told parents they will have mental health professionals available for students.
You want to say, hey, let me get you to a professional where you can really have a safe space to process and talk through some of these things.
With any kid, everybody knows they don't come with a manual. I need you to open up to me. I need you to talk to me. Hopefully that will ring a bell, and hopefully I'm standing on the steps of him wanting to allow me to be able to knock on his door so that he will open up and talk about that.
Join us Sunday on 25 News Now at 10 for Off-Season Grind. At 25 News Now Extra with weekend sports anchor Ray Robertson. With football season winding down, what are athletes doing to stay in peak condition during the off-season? Join Ray as he teams up with a local athlete for a workout. Learn more about the exercise that keep our Crossroads team in top form. That's Sunday on 25 News Now at 10. The U.S. and Mexico agreed to amend a 1944 water treaty, which might bring some relief to South Texas farmers struggling with scarce water. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us coming up. Women's March rally in D.C. protests Trump's re-election, vows to protect democracy.
Those temperatures pretty much in the 60s or 70 degrees with northerly winds. That's a drying wind. What does that mean for our forecast? When's the rain coming back? We'll try to answer that coming up in the full forecast.
March group held a rally in Washington, D.C. today. The demonstration outside of Heritage Foundation is being held in response to a re-election of former Donald Trump, with the group saying, quote, "The stakes are higher than ever and that women will protect democracy." Snap rallies and protests are planned this weekend in other states, including like New York. The first woman march was held the day after Trump's 2017 inauguration. The organization is helping plan a much larger People's March on Washington the weekend before Trump's inauguration. Days after the presidential election, a few GOP senators have been selected for their new chair committee roles in Congress. Texas Senate Ted Cruz will lead the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee, helping approve over 100 Senate confirmed positions. Utah Senator Mike Lee is expected to chair the Senate Energy Committee, while Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is set to head Homeland Security. Florida Senator Mark Rubio is likely to lead the Senate Intelligence Committee. These high-profile transitions comes as Republicans regain control over the Senate, with changes set for next week, including the selection of a new Senate GOP leader to succeed Mitch McConnell. Protesters gather outside the Heritage Foundation in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. The conservative think tank helped put together the controversial Project 2025. The 900-page blueprint for a Republican's president will be reshaped every federal agency around its conservative vision. Organizers with the Women's March helped coordinate Saturday demonstrations. It is the first protest in Washington, D.C. since Trump won the presidential election. Arizona voters have approved Prop 314, also known as the Secure the Border Act. It gives local states authorities more power to arrest and book undocumented immigrants, a task that previously been charged out by a border patrol.
Crossing the border illegally in between ports of entry is a federal crime, but Proposition 314 will now make it a crime at the state level in Arizona as well, allowing local police to arrest migrants suspected of illegally entering Arizona through Mexico and giving state judges the power to order deportations.
We're not aiming at particularly sending units out there to be targeting or looking specifically for illegals.
Emmanuel Botello with the San Luis Police Department says their focus remains on serving the community. While supporters of the bill say it will help secure Arizona's border, Botello says it's a federal job that requires federal dollars.
We don't have additional resources coming in as a result of this. If anything, we're getting additional work, additional things to do, additional duties.
Police are also concerned it could lead to overcrowded jails.
To me, that's where the big problem is going to be, is the jails.
Chief Thomas Garrity with the Yuma Police Department agrees immigration should remain at the federal level, but says they've been preparing for the duties Prop 314 entails.
So we as the police department have to prepare to make sure that the policies and the training that we have in place is going to be fair, constitutional, and respectful to everyone.
Advocates against the bill warn it could lead to racial profiling. Garrity assures that won't be happening in Yuma.
We're not going to be asking people their immigration status that are victims or witnesses. It's hard. We're only going to be concentrating on the people who commit crimes.
Prop 314 is molded after a Texas law, SB 4, that is currently being reviewed by the U.S. Supreme Court. Even though Arizona voters passed Prop 314, portions of the bill won't go into effect unless the Supreme Court rules the Texas bill is constitutional.
We will continue to prioritize and really, protecting life, protecting property of our residents will continue to be on the top of our priorities.
For more on today's news story, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Strawn and meteorologist Parker Cost will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
Temperatures in the 60s to near 70 currently and beginning to fall even more so as northerly winds continue off of the continent, keeping our humidity on the low side. What about any rainfall anytime soon? And what's happening with Rafael still in the Gulf? We'll take a look coming up next. Good evening, everyone. Trey Mining here, and we've been watching this stationary front the last few days, causing some massive flooding near the Beaumont area in Hardin County, especially into Louisiana, still hanging around there. But we're on the dry end of it. Of course, we had good weather here with northerly winds coming in off the continent, the state of Texas, coming in from the north. And same thing happening in the western parts of the state of Texas, pretty calm everywhere we go throughout the entire Lone Star State this evening. And Raphael still hanging in there, is undergoing a lot of wind shear, which is winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere tearing the storm apart. See, the center is here, but all thunderstorms are to the offset to the right of it. That tells you there's a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere kind of tearing the storm apart. Continuing to weaken, while not affecting the land areas. It'll continue to move further to the south into the Bay of Campeche next couple of days. There's the coordinates if you're still tracking it on your tracking chart. Winds 45 miles per hour. Northwest to 3 miles per hour, very slow mover, of course. There's a closer look in, as you see right there. But like I just mentioned, the center is actually here. And the thunderstorms are offset from the center. That tells you there's a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere, pushing this off away from the center, not letting it grow any means, continuing to help it to weaken. So not really a problem for us at all, except for some high surf around the Gulf-facing beaches in the Texas coast. Cuero, what's it look like? 71 degrees at 9 a.m. with sunny skies. Not too much happening around the Crossroads region. Could be a little bit of patchy fog early in the morning. Be careful out there. High temperatures in the mid-80s or so. The upper 80s by 3 o'clock in the afternoon with plentiful sunshine. And then moving on to Port Lavaca, looks pretty nice. Some morning clouds possible with temperatures in the 70s. High temperatures in the mid to upper 80s by the afternoon time with mostly sunny skies in the area. And Victoria, about the same as well. A few clouds in the morning time, no worries there. No rain, unfortunately, but sunny skies throughout the rest of the time period. Highs near 90 degrees. Once again, running the air conditioners here in November, not really like the season too much. Veterans Day looking nice with high temperatures in the 80s or so, with low temperatures in the 60s, so cool mornings. Definitely warm in the afternoon, not very much seasonal temperatures overall, as we see here. Unfortunately, can't put any rain in the forecast. It looks like high pressure will continue to dominate our weather here, keeping us on the dry side. But to keep us cool in the morning time overall, with lows near 60 degrees. Maybe some upper 50s coming up for Friday morning as another reinforcing surge comes down from the north, with sunny skies throughout the entire forecast period. So looking good for Veterans Day and the rest of the week as we go through the rest of the time period. So get out there and enjoy it. But be careful out there, it's quite dry. So watch out if the burning would not be advised. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code. You see right there, they take you to a webpage. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge to be connected with us with all the latest you need to know on the Crossroads, news, weather, and sports-wise. You see Ray over there with the sports.
Thank you, Trey. And there's a new sheriff in town for 4A football, says head coach Robert Jones. We hear from him and more in your CFL Recap in Sports. It's the final week of the regular season for CFL, so what does that mean for everyone? The playoff picture pretty much settled, district championship matchups, and senior night festivities. So with all that being said, here's your CFL recap. The state favorite Edna Cowboys took on another Crossroads team in the Palacios Sharks. The Cowboys defense forces a fumble and Miles Randall finishes the job with a touchdown. Edna will go on to win the game. The Sharks was unable to score on the board. Final score, 48-0. Let's continue the dominance, shall we? Former Athlete of the Week, Trey Cuellar from Yoakum, leading Yoakum on the road against Hallettsville, winning the game. Final score, 41-21. Victoria West secured a playoff berth in their victory against the Veterans Memorial at home. Final score, 54-21. The game of the week was the district championship game as the Bay City Black Cats hosted the Calhoun Sandcrabs. Things fell in favor for the Calhoun Sandcrabs, being up a touchdown going into halftime. Fishner Frank with multiple carries and 3 touchdowns. Bay City quarterback Alex Estrada began the second half great, and it was this play right here by Zylan Williams to put the Black Cats up by a touchdown. And with 4 seconds left on the clock, Calhoun wasn't able to complete a field goal for the game to go into overtime. Bay City walks away with the victory.
I'm feeling great post-game. We haven't won a district championship in 20 years, so the kids knew what was at stake. They kept on fighting. We've been in this situation before early in the year when we played Sealy. We was down 2 touchdowns at halftime, but I told those kids, our motto is believe, and those kids believed and they got out there and executed. Well, like I just said, I told the guys to keep believing. You know, we made adjustments, great adjustments. The kids got out there and made plays. That's a great program over there. They've been dominating this district, so it's a new king in the District 15 4A.
So long season play. So what's next for CFL? It's playoff time. Here are some of your matchups in store for the week to come. Let's start off local. Victoria West taking on a Corpus Christi team in Gregory, Portland. West has an overall impressive record, finishing 8-2. Can they make a deep run in the playoffs? Yoakum looks to take on Troy High School at a neutral stadium at Hutto High School. Can Xavier Barnett along with Trey Cuellar set the tempo once again and dominate the game? And your game of the week winners and district champions, Bay City, will take on Hidalgo, taking place at Mathis High School. Bay City finished with a record of 9-1 and look to continue their season. Make sure you stay tuned on 25 News Now. Max Williams will provide more details on more playoff games. And wrapping things up with some college football, the Texas Longhorns taking on the Florida Gators. Quinn Ewert locates Matthew Golden for a 29-yard touchdown. Texas maintained being in the driver's seat this whole game. Ewers once again dots it to Gunnar Hill for a 22-yard touchdown. Ewers finished with 333 yards and 5 touchdowns. Jared Gibson led the team in rushing with 100 yards and a touchdown. The Longhorns would pretty much win it. Final score, 49-17. Texas looking to be in the SEC championship, so who exactly will meet them? It's definitely warming up in the SEC, but that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray. Stay with us. Coming up on 98th Macy Thanksgiving Day Parade to feature 6 new balloons, including Minnie Mouse and Spider-Man. Coming up. Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. The 98th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City is less than 3 weeks away this year. 6 new feature characters balloons will debut. Check out this sneak peek from the test flight of the new balloons. They include Disney Minnie Mouse, Extraordinary Nora, and Elf of the Shelf, Gabby, Goku by Dragon Ball, and Spider-Man. The Macy Parade lineup will be one of the largest yet, with more than 5,000 volunteers.
I just want to take time to acknowledge that Goku float really is amazing.
Goku float?
Yeah.
You like Goku?
Yep, the greatest anime character of all time.
Oh.
I call him Goku, actually.
You know anything about anime, Trey? Anime?
Not really too much.
Yeah, me either. Trey, so when we're talking about anime, let's talk about weather.
Let's see. We'll do some anime weather here, I guess you could say.
Anime weather.
Try our best to that is. Sunny skies for your day tomorrow. Highs still in the mid-80s, so still warm during the day. But in the overnights and the morning times, nice cool start to the morning with highs in the 80s, of course, lows near 60 degrees. Wish I could put some rain in there, but can't, unfortunately. It looks like high pressure will dominate our weather here, keeping it on the cool side. At night, that is, and warm during the day. So you got to get that in coming. And Veterans Day looking pretty good for festivities on that day, with sunny skies, highs in the upper 80s. So get out there and enjoy it.
Wow, and then while the weather looks like it's going to be beautiful, and hopefully the parade that's going to be beautiful there in New York. Now, I always wanted to attend those parades. I want to mention that. I always wanted to attend those.
They're quite fascinating. Humongous
are.
it floats and just
Yes,
amazing.
That's something to think about. But thank you for being with us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Have a good night.